Oh, Timmy.
Good.
Yes.
Okay, welcome everyone to our July 8th meeting. After 4 belts. I tried a couple of times to get somebody to talk to us about 3D printers, and I did not succeed. So I'm going to keep trying, because I want to hear about 3D printers too. Let me get this door real quick. And so I'm going to keep pursuing that.
Get out. It looks like I was the only one there. Or I'll think mine did.
Can't hear audio.
He's behind me.
But it gives us a good opportunity to talk about some things that I think we've been needing to talk about now that we have a place to meet again. We got a new projector, so some things we can discuss about how to make it better possibly and how to help people virtually. So it's going to be a general discussion meeting today. So if you think of something as we're going through these, we'll try to cover that too. The library gave us this room because the AC in the other one, the little room, is not working. So it's good that we have this one. I'm scared that little room back here is too small. We'll see. We'll see one of these days. They've asked us if we could be before so that they can start prepping for the next meeting. So if we can wrap up around 11:45 or so, that should be good. Okay, can everyone hear us virtually? Topic number 1 is audio issues for our virtual attendees. Some people have brought up the fact that it's kind of hard to hear the presenter, and maybe it depends on where the presenter stands in the meeting. We have the microphone that Lawrence is lending us to use.
So yes.
This is mine.
This is yours.
Yes.
Okay.
Speak louder because Barbara still says she's not hearing you.
Barbara, okay.
Or get closer to the mic or something.
All right, so if we put the mic right in front, but I don't want to stand in front of the projector.
Or hold.
Yeah.
Do we have the volume? Low or medium or?
I think I did, but I will double
When
check.
you finish, I got a suggestion.
The input is set to as high as it can go.
All right, Barbara, can you hear us any better now? I moved the mic to the front of the table at the front of the room.
Ray can't hear anyone.
And make sure all your settings on your own computer you're unmuted. Audio is enabled.
How about we hit mute on yours and let me try it here. Okay, now speaking.
All right, we're getting a lot of feedback there. I guess because yours is pointed over there. How about
Okay.
now?
Can you hear now?
Is any better
Oh,
now?
yeah. Well,
How about
Here's
now?
Taylor
one
fine.
person said they can hear. Can you hear now?
Here, Taylor, you hear you, yeah.
Barbara, can you hear?
Ray, we can't hear you if you can unmute your computer.
Well, that's also probably because I just turned my speakers down.
Turn your speaker.
All right. So we do have these like right next to each other.
Okay, what I was gonna suggest
Okay.
is I have a lavalier mic, and I can bring that next week. And they're only about anywhere from $100 to $200. And I got 2 of them. And what you can do is mic up, and that way we can guarantee that you can be heard and plug it directly into your computer. I'll bring it next week. We can test on next month, and we can test it and see if it works.
Similar to how we used to be in Richardson, where we would carry the mic around.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah. So this is a pin-on wireless Bluetooth. Okay.
And you can have 2 people fire at a time.
Okay. Ray or Barbara, can you hear us any better?
Yes, I heard that.
Barbara says she can hear a tiny bit. Barbara, you got your volume all the way up?
Yep.
What about on this side?
Well, it's going through here, not that.
Oh, So this is not being used at all right now.
No, they couldn't hear on it.
Okay, better now?
Yeah, that's better. I can hear that.
I
It
can
just
barely hear
wants-
Ray.
Plug that into your computer and see if it works better.
Of course, my hearing's not very good anyway, so don't grade your audio on me.
So one of the parts of this topic that you wanted to talk about, Ray, was the audio for hearing impaired people. You know, that's too much feedback. That's really distracting.
Is your volume? Are you on this?
So, no, so if I turn it down, you guys can't hear him.
Well, I guess we can turn it down and see if mine's loud enough.
Okay.
Try that. Okay, Ray, say something and see if we can hear you.
Hello, everyone. You know, the closer you are to the mic, the better it is. Like I can hear Taylor fine, but echoey in the room.
So we're using Taylor's mic on his computer right now.
Which in theory shouldn't be as good as what we were doing, but maybe we haven't figured out how to configure the other stuff, the fancy stuff yet.
Laptop mics on our Zoom sessions that we do a lot of. You're in the center of that laptop.
Can you hear us then?
I hear you, Barbara. Great.
Now we can, we switched over. Yes. Can you hear
Someone-
me?
Whoever was just
It's pretty loud. Ray's is kind of medium.
them.
Ray, how do you hear us?
I hear you fine. I hear you okay. Not good, but okay. The
So
closer you stand to Taylor,
that mic, and we're gonna
I
try
think it'll be better if
Lawrence's
it's
mic
not
next time.
omnidirectional.
So it has that mode, huh?
Now it's cardioid.
Do you want me to mute mine?
You want to try?
Maybe I should turn it on my computer. I'm on the cell phone now.
Oh, how about that?
Yeah, Jonesy has to move this one up.
Nothing so far.
Mark, can you hear us? Can you hear us now?
I'm going to switch to my computer, so I'm leaving this meeting.
Ray, can you hear us better or the same, or?
Maybe, maybe not. Oh, we could hear Barbara really well just a second ago. How about now, Ray? I switched the mic over to cardioid instead of omnidirectional.
it's pretty good. It's echoey,
Echoey.
pretty good. Yeah, everything is echoey to me. Taylor is the clearest because he's closest to the mic, I think.
Not now, but can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're echoey now.
We switched over to a different microphone.
Yeah, we're trying a different microphone that's supposed to be better.
Yeah, I understand. Well,
We're experimenting though.
I'm the worst case test, I'll tell you, because I don't hear well. But
Maybe that's the best thing we should be testing with, the person who doesn't hear well.
oh, the problem as far as I can tell.
Okay, we've repositioned the mic. Does that change anything for you? Can you hear us any better now?
Yes,
Okay. Do you get any feedback? Echoey. How about now? Point
Yeah.
of the-
pretty good. It's not, there's not any feedback, it's just echoey, but that was pretty good.
Okay.
Barbara, you good?
Happened.
Barbara, you
Yes,
good?
he's switching over to a different.
Yes, can you hear me now too?
Sure
Yes,
thing.
yes, great.
Oh, and I can hear you too. I guess the phone just doesn't work as well.
All right, so we at least know this setup is good enough. And we want to.
We'll work on improvements.
Try Lawrence's mic next time. So make sure we bring this all the time.
Yes.
This is yours, right?
Yes.
Okay. And the speaker, also yours?
Yes, but that's a whole nother story.
Okay. You know, one of these days, we can try plugging in, but it might require a separate amp, to make these all work. I don't know.
Right.
Which actually my wife has, jazzercise instructor. She's got an amp that will plug into that thing.
Oh, wow.
So, that might be something to try too.
Yeah.
Can everybody hear this speaker up there?
Yeah.
Ray or Barb, you want to say something real quick?
Hello,
Go ahead.
this is Elliot. I can hear you well. Can you hear me?
Sure can, Elliot.
Thanks.
Okay. And I hear fine too now.
Somehow I feel like this is going to be an ongoing, but we'll gradually refine our techniques. Ray, since you're the one that actually raised this topic, did you want to talk about it anymore for yourself?
I'm sorry, I just couldn't quite hear that.
Since you're the one that raised this topic, did you want to say anything else about it or make any suggestions?
About the newsletter?
The audio, we're doing the audio.
Oh, well, I think we've fiddled with it long enough. Let's give it a try. Thank you for working on it.
All right, we'll continue to improve, hopefully.
Good.
The next topic, also suggested by Ray, is there any interest in an AI, artificial intelligence city? Okay.
Jonesy and
Yes,
Taylor raising
there
our
it is.
hand.
So if you didn't already know, next month we have a speaker who's going to talk to us about AI. He's a professor at UTD, Dr. Gopal Gupta. He used to be head of the computer science department, and somebody else is now, so he's still a professor there. And he is an expert in AI and chat GPT. So August 12th, he's going to talk to us. And I'm not sure if it's in person or virtual yet. He's still thinking about it.
Ray, can you hear me?
Barely.
I'm coming over. Ray, I know you're interested in AI, and I just want to let you know that I just got a new email app that's AI. It'll answer your emails for you. It'll produce emails for you, and it kind of categorizes your email all automatically. It won't send it off automatically, but it will do. It's called Spark 3.0, and it's called Spark Plus AI. So check it out, because I know you like to play with AI. Try that out.
Put that in chat. Put that in chat.
Okay.
I am reading a couple of newsletters. I'm reading the free version, and it's absolutely amazing what's going on. I don't begin to understand all of it, but this is ballooning so fast, and there are really a market for people that now understand AI. In other words, I'd say AI engineers. I think they can write their own ticket right at this moment.
So it's going to be good to hear our speaker next month. See
Yeah,
what his
that'd be great.
are. Since we do have several people who are interested in the SIG, we would need a SIG leader. So I'd be looking for somebody to volunteer to be the leader of the AI SIG.
Well, let me, I can do that as long as I'm still intact.
Sure.
Okay. 'Cause
And
you know I
you
guess.
designate an alternate.
I'll be your backup if you want. Okay, that'll be good.
Okay, so Lawrence and Jonesy. Lawrence, the main leader of the SIG. Okay. So what I need to do next is work with the board or just talk to the library to figure out how we can do this. You know, we have this room from 10 to 12. We use up most of the time in the main meeting. The library doesn't even open until 10. So, you know, the SIG's probably going to have to be after the main meeting, I would think, unless we want to ship everything like we used to do and have the SIG at 10:30 to whatever, and then have our main meeting at 12 to, you know, we want to do that.
Could we have the SIG from 10 to 10:30?
It's okay with me. I just.
All right.
So the doors are
just get really quick at setting up.
open at 10 o'clock, you know, so you quickly set up, right? 10:15.
I'm getting faster. So it's. We can be doing the SIG while we're
This
setting up
doesn't- this
too.
doesn't say name off, does it?
No, I mean, there's,
Okay, I didn't think so,
but they had that other educational room that we were supposed to be in back
One
there.
of the small rooms, there's space. It's big there.
yeah.
Yeah, could do that. And the cost is nominal, so I don't think that would be a problem for us. We have to rent that room and this room. We can easily afford that. Which ties into another topic that I thought of on the way over here. Is it time to restart all of our SIGs? Which one do we want to start up? We have the Mac SIG, the OS SIG. We had the SIG. Years ago, we had a Bentley Altitude SIG. Hadn't done that in, I don't know how long. Is it time to go ahead and restart all those SIGs? And so we would need leaders for all of them. We would need rooms for all of them. Which we could use this room for one. If we're going to do all this stuff before the main meeting, we could do it here. One over there.
Start with one.
We could start with the AI SIG and see how that goes. We wanted to do that. Rather than just jump in and try to do them all again. But, you know, that's kind of been on my mind since we've got this new meeting place. When is it time to restart those?
That was a big membership. Six. Real buzz, but they. Trying to cross the stream.
Yeah. Missing some of the previous leaders, so we would need new leaders for the cities too. So if people want to start thinking about, if they're interested in leading SIG, let us know. Let me or the board know. And we can start planning, restarting some of these. Sounds like the ones that are of most interest maybe is the photography. There's several people that like photography. Restart that.
And the bill, you know, like the iPhone.
Mac Help, or what do we call that?
It's the Mac Help Desk.
Mac Help
Yeah.
Desk, SIG. Okay. So maybe those two, once we see how they.
I don't mind picking up the torch for the Mac Help Desk.
Taylor, did you say that?
And we'll lead for that.
That was John Jones. He said he would do the.
Oh,
Mac.
Jonesy. Oh, okay.
I'll try.
You always have been, Jonesy.
Yeah, yes.
You never resigned.
Bernie, you back?
We could, yes. So that, we could do that. We just need to expand.
Has been recognized.
There we go.
Since the rates here are so reasonable, that's not a problem. We could do a couple in the morning, main meeting, a couple in the afternoon. So.
Take over the environmental
And that may be more interesting to put on a poster saying if you're interested in photography, you know, if you're interested in AI or in productivity on the bottom of that, instead of just, are you interested in that? So maybe home in on something, maybe you might get more interested.
I did talk to the librarian this morning, and there is like a specific page to go on the library's website to submit flyers for posting up. So I'll be more than happy to help out with that, to design a flyer, and that way we can also maybe get some more people that are interested in those things into our group. You know, artistic stuff. Graphic design.
Okay, I could hear Jonesy just now, but that's the only thing I've heard in the last 10 minutes.
Sorry, I'm loud.
So, Jonesy, when do you want to start the Mac Help Desk SIG?
I can have something ready for next month if we wanted to.
And Lawrence, you're ready to start the AI SIG as well?
Yeah,
Next month?
so we'll be like 10:05 in here next month for the AI.
Yeah, you said 10:05?
Yeah, well, we
I
have to
can
set up
be here
from 10 to
10:02.
10:05.
No, two. All right.
Yeah, at the door at 10 o'clock. Okay,
So Mac Help Desk will be another quarter.
or we can see if the educational room is open. Oh, we'll get that too. All right, let's try it and see. So 10:00 something start until 10:30, and then main meeting at 10:30 like we've been doing in here. Okay. All right, and we'll expand after that, you know, as we see how this works. And if we get rounds. Next topic, unless anyone has any questions about that.
If you remember to bring or invite me over for hamburger, I would have a projector in the other room to demo my AI stuff.
Gives me incentive to actually bring that to you.
Richard,
Yes, sir.
You can repeat, Joe.
I would suggest that we start an email list for the AI SIG. And I'd be glad to do that if people will feed me their names, and we'll just have an email exchange in between our meetings, because there's so much going on that I think that's probably the only way we could possibly have a little interaction.
Okay, is that okay with you?
That sounds great. I don't know if you can hear me. You might, Jonesy, you may have to repeat it. Lawrence said great.
Lawrence said great.
All right, that sounds good. Thank you, Ray.
Might I also suggest us maybe looking into something like or similar to like a meeting owl? It's essentially a webcam microphone built into one system, but what really shines on a meeting owl or something like it is when someone starts talking, it will automatically rotate the webcam like Taylor's doing manually to whoever's actually speaking. Just to throw it out there. It is a pretty cool device.
Meeting owl.
Meeting owl.
A lot of business meetings.
Like the bird, meeting owl.
A lot of business offices have this now.
Yes, they are very cool. We have one in our conference room.
I'm not using that. I'm playing a HomePod or iPod.
We do have a HomePod, but I've been having a lot of issues like getting it to connect with the Propel wireless. I don't know if Propel's wireless here blocks certain things like AirPlay and other technologies. It wouldn't surprise me since they're probably mostly just wanting people to use the free Wi-Fi for, you know, research. And so I did note we have some Ethernet ports in this room. So what we'll do is see if we can get an inexpensive router, set up our own wireless network like we used to at the Richardson Civic Center. And hopefully that should resolve a lot of our AirPlay, AirPod, and all those issues that we've been having. So I really do think it's probably the library blocking that stuff, and it makes sense. You would want to maybe do that to franchise people from using this for entertainment purposes. So we'll probably hopefully we'll have that resolved next month.
Okay.
Hopefully.
If it turns out that all of these are inoperative, we'll just have,
Like a hotspot then.
okay?
I don't know if this is exactly relevant, it kind of is. We had something called a fully duplexed conference device that we used in IBM that was in, and I bought it because I was in charge of that stuff, which we put in the middle of a conference table. And the other conference room had to have the same technology, but then everybody could hear everything. And people commented afterwards that they could hear people whispering in the room in New York, and they got to hear all the side conversations. They thought it was quite wonderful. So what I'm saying is that that device existed 20 years ago. Maybe it's been upgraded so that it'd be something miniaturized and small and available now.
Yeah, the Meeting Owl does a lot of that too. It's kind of like the Meeting Owl.
Meeting Owl.
Video.
Yes.
So,
It has a little webcam up top, and it will rotate the webcam to whoever's speaking at the time.
and what do you need to have on the other side?
A USB cable to the computer.
No, I'm talking about where Ray is or where. Bob
Oh, I mean,
is.
they just need to be logged into like Zoom or, yeah, Ring Central.
So they don't-
Just so they're now.
So they don't need to have matching technology.
Right.
Interesting, okay. Sounds cool.
So the Meeting Owl has a camera
Mhm.
and
Speaker
wireless
and a microphone.
connection.
Do you recognize this room? Oh, there was a larger view on it.
How much?
There may be in a room
I'll look into it for y'all.
here.
Any other input on the SIG discussion / camera router? Sounds like we've got some improvements coming. Good, I like it. Next topic was library posters, and we've already talked about this. So
Okay.
What-
library.
Excuse me,
Yes.
what room are you Jonesy and Taylor in?
The first library meeting room when you walk into the library,
The main one,
the main one.
All right.
the one we've been in the past.
We'd love to have you here.
Meeting hour,
Uh,
$990
It's a,
in
my
Amazon.
Never mind. It's the refurbished one.
Oh, wait, yeah, there is a refurbished one, that's 700.
Oh, bloody hell. Okay, never mind.
Well, that's not too bad.
That's not horrible.
It's, well, it just means that I
Okay,
can't authorize it on the
there's
spot.
another-
Right.
There is another one
Okay.
that is $63 that rotates. And there's one that's $249 that rotates.
Okay,
Okay, so just letting you know, there's some other ones around.
if it's under 300, then I can just say get it.
Right, right.
Okay,
So I'm just,
can you look into one of those and
Sure thing. We
I
can
will.
keep it under
keep
300?
keep an eye on time.
If it's not, bring it to the board and we can bring it up.
Okay.
You know, see if the board wants to authorize something a little more. Because our treasurer is holding on to a fortune.
Richard, for your protection, I would recommend, even if it's close to under $300, that the board at least be given a demonstration of the capabilities and the probabilities and the likelihood that it's going to solve the problem. That way it won't come back to haunt you if it's failure.
And let me say this too. If you buy it from Amazon, I am the guy who sent more stuff back to Amazon without any problem. So if we do buy it from Amazon, there is no question that they will allow us. So if we test it, we don't like it, we can send it back.
All right.
Very good. Okay.
Send the 360 camera.
you can send anything back to Amazon.
Just about.
360.
It's like a camera that can rotate, yeah.
It's not the answer 360.
No, it's not the instant.
I don't talk to you later.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, so the library has a website. You said that they have inputs for flyers there.
Yes.
that's just a digital flyer on their webpage?
You submit it to them on their website, and if they approve it, then I think they go from there.
And they print it and post it?
I don't know about that part, so I will look into that as
Okay.
well.
All right. Very good.
Otherwise, I'm happy to print it myself.
Okay, next topic, donating our archive. This has been on the board's agenda for several meetings. And we've got some ideas. Any updates? Not yet. I haven't been able to contact. Right. So just to bring everybody up to speed, Ray suggested many months ago that it would be a good idea to donate our newsletter archive to some organization, just so it doesn't fall off the wayside in the future. It's a good idea, but it's all in paper. So if we can find somebody to take one of our big plastic bins that Ray put together a long time ago, that'd be great, but it might be better to digitize it. And so Richard was looking into an option to get it digitized for free. So we're going to wait to hear back about that. The other option would be to hire somebody commercially to do it. We're thinking that would be probably $2,000 minimum.
Law firms do that all the time.
How much do they charge?
Probably, well, they hire people to do it, so they exist,
Exactly.
but it costs.
So we're thinking, this, and one of these plastic bins
Usually it's 25 cents a page at a law firm.
Yeah, and up. So
But that's the thing, the law firm. You can hire the company that the law firm hires and get it for less. It's still not cheap.
a lot cheap. So 2,000 minimum is what we estimated. The other thing we were talking about, if we don't want either of those, or either of those are not going to work for whatever reason, we could offer a couple of members the opportunity to do it for us as volunteers. In return, you could get the scanner that we buy for it for free. So we would give 2 scanners to 2 members that they would digitize all this for us.
I may have a scanner that can contribute to the other. I'm not signing up for.
Yeah, just remember, we need one of the heavy duty, faster, it's not a first line consumer scanner type thing.
Yeah.
Richard, is the maximum format letter size or some
Tabloid.
larger?
Tabloid.
Tabloid.
Okay, that's what I was thinking.
But you can cut them up, but that also means taking the time to cut them up too.
Yeah, this would be quite a bit of
If
work.
we could get a larger format scanner, that would be great. Because it has other uses in the future.
Let me get easier one. If Ray still has all the database that he created for the entire collection of newsletters.
He did not do that. We have some things scanned in the database, but not all of it.
We have probably about a year and a half scanned in, and we have about 30 years left.
But he was creating them on some computer somewhere.
Yeah, but this
That's
computer
all
from the
gone away.
70s,
A lot of it's
80s.
in technology that doesn't exist anymore from the 80s and 90s.
Yeah, you'd have to figure out some way to convert.
I think they were at one point stored on jazz drives and stuff like that.
Ooh, I imagine.
Right. So this is a new effort, and the options are potentially free, potentially $2,000 and up, or find 2 people that want a couple of scanners and do it for us.
But speaking of Barbara's suggestion, you could, our last editor or whatever, publisher, whatever, was Linda Reese.
Mhm.
You could see if she saved any of the original PDFs or anything like that for the more recent ones in the last decade or two. So,
I
So
might
obviously
have
if they
some
do-
of them that when I wrote the Alphagram for a while.
okay. Oh, that's right. You were.
Yeah, I know, right?
So maybe between you and Linda, you can see if there are any,
All right. I know at one point I saved them as iBooks. Everybody remember iBooks?
Okay, so we can check with them. But that does leave quite a bit, from the 80s and 90s that are in paper.
And those tend to be much longer, like some of those are 30 and 40
30,
pages
40 pages,
each, every month.
yeah. Well, this corpus.
It was a publication thing at the time.
It was amazing. I mean, not only did we have that, we used to give away these 3.5-inch discs every month.
Just for the month.
Just for the month. I've got these wooden things that I got from Lawrence Allen that are full. This whole thing is full for 2GS, Apple 2GS.
Before
Now I
that,
got
they were,
another one. Yeah.
they were 5¼ discs too before that.
So, I mean, people were really energetic back in the day.
But you just, as a footnote, I still have zip drives and disc. If you have anything that's on zip and you want it, I can transfer it to a different medium for you.
Cool.
Yeah. 100 and 250.
I do have the technology at home to digitize all those floppies as well. I've been thinking when I should do that. That's also an option one of these days. All right. Those were the topics that I had before I had to drive over here today. I thought of 3 more that we could talk about. And then we can get to things that if you've thought about any on your own, we can talk about. We've got August covered for a meeting. November, it looks like I've got Sheeta Hunter going to talk to us about Adobe apps.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, that was recommended by some people last time. So she seems like she's willing to do it. Should I invite her to travel? She's in Michigan. So I haven't asked her this yet, but we haven't had anybody travel to us in years. I do have a budget for travel. I don't know.
Lawrence, look up what a cheap travel is.
She's worked for Adobe. She's very knowledgeable, very knowledgeable. So if you have any questions about Adobe and graphics, that'll be the person to ask.
She did ask, she asked what apps we wanted to hear about. And I said, we have photography people and then graphic design people. So she said, Photoshop app and the Lightroom app.
Yeah, well, most of us know about 6 apps, but they have like 40 of them. And so
Yeah.
it's the unusual ones that I want to know about. There are a whole bunch of, if she would just even go over what these other apps do. I mean, you look at the Creative Cloud, all those, most of them, I don't know what they even do.
Please send me an email with your suggestions on what she should cover. She's asking what she should talk about.
And yes, bring her. It's a scant 3-hour flight. My tickets cost $200 one way.
That'll be a good promotion for our.
I'll check for you because I can look it up on my database that I have. And
Not sure. She just said.
Because I'm gonna be driving home,
Little-
I'll be driving back.
There you go.
Road trip.
yeah.
Yes.
And I'll look it up for you because I got a database that does all the data
Okay.
travel.
Yes. So we'll get that and I'll see if she's willing to do it. I don't know. These days, but it would be an airplane ticket, hotel room. Car, I'm not sure about that.
I'll pick her up.
That's what I used to do when we had several people. I would go to the airport, pick them up, bring them to the hotel.
Well, you kind of come that direction. Okay.
What'd you say?
You kind of come that direction, a little ways, but yeah.
I can pick her up. I can pick her up. And I know her. So.
One field is easy. If she flies in the low.
Not for him.
Not for me.
If you know her, whereabouts in Michigan does she live?
Right outside of, from what I understand, I mean, I know her virtually, but it's right outside of Detroit.
Oh, so you.
Okay.
That's almost in Canada. Now, I was.
Yes. As a kid, we went there
I
frequently.
like hypertext documenting the connections. There was something they had, we used XML to have books that would change the way they appeared, whether we're taking something apart or putting something together. And I'd be interested in hearing how that would work, and maybe they could work that into.
Is that a separate app?
Pro.
Do you know the name of that app?
I think it was XML, but they develop operating system there. And I don't know if they had a particular app.
An Adobe thing.
It's an Adobe thing. And I don't remember what year it was in. was when I was in Dallas. That's 1983 on.
Okay, so we'll figure out a list of things to ask her to talk about. And yeah, sounds like she'd be a good person to get to travel to us. Seeing as how it's so hard to find anybody that wants to present at all these days. The other thing that I've been trying to get, in addition to the 3D printer, which I'm going to keep pursuing, is somebody to talk to us about iOS 17. Sent out a couple of emails about that, crickets. So the 9 to 5 Mac blog has a couple of people that wrote up really nice articles about iOS 17. So I shot an email directly to each of them. Nothing so far. We've had 9 to 5 Mac people talk to us before, so maybe I should just press a little harder on them. Christmas party. Let's talk about the Christmas party. Since we have this nice huge room with a kitchen right there that we can use. It's probably time to start thinking about, you know, what we're going to do. Yes.
I got a monster $2,500 computer. It's a composer workstation, and I'm making weird concert of Close Encounters. I made that. Listen to it afterwards if you want.
So what I'd like to do is create a committee. So we now have a Christmas party committee. I need a volunteer to lead it.
Sure.
You've done so good in the past. No, I need a volunteer. Don't feel pressured to do it.
Well, I've done it before, I think.
Yes, you have.
Uh-huh.
Taylor said, sure.
Taylor, I thought he did it first too. I saw him agreed to be on the committee.
With all the wonderful help you give, it's doable.
So do you want to volunteer to lead the committee? We're going to need to figure out food.
Yeah.
I'd like to do a giveaway, a raffle.
Yeah.
Which means if people have anything they want to donate to the raffle, fine. We also have a budget, I believe, to buy something to raffle. If we don't, we can bring it to the board.
You raffled away a computer one year.
Yeah, so I would like to do that. You want to figure that out?
The only thing, maybe somebody knows the answer already. In the more recent years, we were really not allowed to bring any home cooked food and all that stuff. It all had to be, you know, super safe because it came from XYZ place or something.
We have a kitchen. I think Rich and I asked that question before we signed up, and I think they said there was not a problem with that, right?
Right. So the city of Richardson, this is the city of Carrollton. They may not care about that.
Well, they have a kitchen for us, so.
Yeah.
I mean,
They're a little more relaxed.
yeah, I think we asked that question too when we signed up. And they said it was okay.
Well, I
There's
know.
nobody in the coffee room there. Does that mean coffee is free?
If you brew it yourself, yeah.
Huh?
If you brew it yourself, yeah.
I mean, we can open that partition, have coffee, brew. We could do that. Definitely for the Christmas party, we should look into that.
Well, we can do it either way that the rules are in the end.
I
You
think
know.
that they'll be flexible. I don't think it's going to be a problem.
I mean, long ago, everybody just brought stuff. And then we got a thing where we couldn't do that. So who knows today?
Government overreach.
Well, we're where we are, but we've also had the COVID thing, so all the rules are kind of up in the air.
Right. I'll ask them.
So the other thing that we could
That's
do,
not hard, I don't think.
if you can organize this, since we have such a large room with all these tables, have tables, and then people bring things they want to show off.
Yes,
like
that's
we
what
used
we've
to do.
done.
And I could dig into my museum and
Open it up, invite
I've
it
got
to
that
the
so
people that
scratched out. I
come
need
in.
to clean that thing up. So yes, I can bring some of those things.
Yeah, there's, like you said, we've done that before, and these facilities makes all that kind of.
It's also a great advertising moment too, on our standpoint of maybe getting people to realize, oh, this exists, this group exists.
And really, if we do any of this little bit of food, I think can tell you we have enough extra cookies and cupcakes or whatever it is, that if a handful of the library people wanted to come in and see what we were doing, it would be just fine. We wouldn't even sort of have to prepare because
They're a
there's
nice
always
group.
extra food.
They're a nice group. I think they'd be interested. Yeah.
Okay, good. That'd be great. That is all that I had to talk about today. Anyone think of anything else you'd like to discuss while we have everyone here?
Anyone online? Ray, Barbara?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
This is Elliot. I've been a member for quite a number of years, courtesy of Barbara, and I'm still a novice. And I have a Mac that's now 2014 vintage, which is still running Mojave. And since Drew passed away, I feel I need to have somebody to guide me as to what to do at this point, because things are starting to unravel slowly. And I'm kind of freaked out in terms of even trying to update the software to Big Sur, for example. So any recommendations as to someone who I could use to do this?
I just did it last week. I took my iMac over to Mac Daddy in Carrollton, and he put in a whole new drive and memory and everything. And as far as I can tell, I'm lightning speed, full speed ahead now.
What area of DFW are you in, Elliot?
North Dallas.
Like, for example, like there's always the Apple stores, and there's like Park City's Mac. If you're in that area, Drew used to do more north stuff. They've got the Arlington store.
Yeah, well, I'm probably, I'm going to be in the market for a new Mac probably when I guess when the next models come out. But in the meantime, I was hoping to just get some help in upgrading to the software to Big Sur from Mojave, because I'm running into some difficulties with some of the apps.
You can come to the Mac Help SIG, and I bet that would be one thing they could go over and upgrading, stepping through the upgrade.
Do have a new SIG.
Right. Well, that's been the issues. There's really been no Mac Help SIG. So
we're just starting it up, though.
Right. Well, I look forward to that. But
Is this an iPad?
I'm sorry.
What type of Mac is it again? I'm sorry.
I have a 27-inch, Mac.
Okay, so it's an iMac?
Yeah, iMac.
Okay. Well, I always tell anybody before upgrading to anything, always make sure you have a good backup. Once you have the backup, then that is an extremely helpful step to taking the next steps of upgrading to the next OS or any major upgrades that you do. That way, if for whatever reason you do have to roll back, hopefully not, but if you do, you have that as kind of a guard just in case.
Well, Jonesy, I do back up to it. I guess it's a WD backup, but how do I know if that's functioning properly?
Are you using Time Machine for backing up?
I hope so.
I hope so. Okay. Well, if you click on the Time Machine icon in the top right corner in your menu bar, it should say when the last backup was completed. And if it was within the last couple hours, that tells me it is still backing up properly. If it comes back and it says it's been 381 days, then we might have a problem.
Understand.
Right?
If I do have a backup and it's been backing up, do I disconnect the backup before trying to update from Mojave to Big Sur?
You don't necessarily have to. You can actually leave it back plugged in. Because the nice thing about that is once it completes the Big Sur update, then the next time it backs up, it will also be backing up what you've added and what has changed. So that's one of the really nice things about Time Machine is it's almost like taking little snapshots of everything as it goes along. Oh,
Yikes.
well, good thing those were books.
That's something they brought in.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they just brought that in.
We had some books tumble on the ground, if y'all are wondering what that loud sound was online.
So if I do run into problems after that, after I back up, and I update, what do you recommend that I go see at that point?
Well, Micro Center will. There's Park City's Mac. Richard Gilligan is the only guy I know that's an Apple Consultant Network guy. Who else is Apple Consultant Network?
Melanie Israel.
Melanie Israel.
Or Miss Mac, for those of y'all that know her as Miss Mac.
So.
I think her website's just missmac.com. If you go to Micro Center, I would specifically ask for Ricardo Mora. I don't, none of the young punks that they just started her, I wouldn't say yes to that. If you want to, you can say Jonesy sent you, so I'm sure he'll send me some sort of message afterwards.
How do you spell Mora?
M-O-R-A, Ricardo, M-O-R-A, Mora. He's the Apple tech at Micro Center. He's been there for probably 2 decades plus, so I mean, he knows his stuff. He's been repairing there since their PowerPC Macs. Again, Shawnee Israel or Miss Mac. I don't know on older Macs. I don't know how I feel about taking older vintage Macs to the Apple stores because they usually will pretty much just be in the mode of, oh, let's upgrade you. They never really want to be in the mode of, let's get you going.
They support you up to 6 years.
Okay.
Anything that's over 6 years old, they'll say it's time to upgrade automatically, no matter what the situation is.
Of course.
So anyway, just be aware that if your computer is more than 6 years old, the Apple Store is gonna, any question you ask, the answer will be upgraded by a new one. Trade, they'll give you the trade-in option, and that's about it. They'll help you with the upgrade, but it's all about spending money. So
of course.
Mine's 4.5 years and they're telling me I need to replace it. They, my children, that kind of they, the public they, not the company.
Well, I think you should get a new one every year.
I mean,
Sounds-
the Apple Silicon Macs are nice.
Mine's 10.3 something or other, and it can't go any farther.
That's another question that you need to think about. We went to Silicon from Intel, and a lot of your old software, if they are up to date, and mostly if it's anything important, usually they've already did that leap. You might be one of those situations where you might want to just buy a new Apple Silicon, a M1 or M2, just because you're going to have a hard time trying to get the software to fit onto the older computer.
Now, Elliot did say he was waiting for the next round of computers to come out, but didn't WWDC have some new stuff for us?
There were some new M2 MacBook Airs that came out. Mac Studio is also, and if you're a big spinner, the Mac Pro was updated.
A used M1, very, very serviceable.
Yeah, the M1 Macs are still extremely great machines.
Yeah.
Insanely great, if you will.
It is at 14.
I won off of Apple.
And they said there's going to be a 30-inch iMac.
Oh, God.
But, that's going to be bucks.
That'd be, I might throw it.
iMac, yeah, it said that this is rumors, the 30-inch. But it depends on how much you want to spend. But there again, you got the iMac's 14-inch that's out now that everybody uses, and that might be an alternative.
Yeah, I have my Mac Mini M1 is great. And, I'm waiting for this year.
The 30-inch.
Yeah.
Coming out. Yeah.
So when should us Mac Mini M1 users upgrade to the M2?
Right away. Apple will sell it to you.
Of course.
I don't think you should, because from what I hear, the M1 and the M2, there's not that much difference. I have an M1, and that seems like you're spending money for no reason at all, unless you.
Right.
But wait till the M3s or Studio.
How old is this?
Can I ask what an
computer
M1
about
and M2 are?
Those are the chips that are made.
Like this one here?
What are we talking about?
That
Uh,
How old
created
is
for
his?
themselves.
computer?
his is a 2014.
Yeah,
2014. So it's
yeah,
getting about
not
a
made
decade.
by Intel. in other words. You know, Intel, Motorola make chips, you see a lot of AMD makes CPUs. Well, Apple makes CPUs now, and they call them, their marketing name is M1, M2. It is called Apple Silicon, but
I had a Mac Mini pre-M1 with Intel Mac Mini, and it was slow. I went to the M1 and it's unbelievably improved.
Yeah, it's
What was the year that it came out?
20,
If I
2019,
remember correctly, the Mac Mini was the first one to go M1.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's just blazing fast. I mean, even today, it's blazing fast for me.
well, the bigger benefit of it really though in this market is that in the mobile market is that it uses a lot less power. So your computer lasts a lot longer. They basically use their ARM technology that they had on their phones and brought it to the desktop. And so Intel like this, much shorter lifetime hours than he'll get on this M1 right here.
So my upgraded iMac may have an M1 or 2.
No. He can't put a new chip in it. Your
You're
system.
using SSD and then put more RAM in it, but they don't change the brain.
Yeah,
2 terabytes of memory.
but that memory has
Storage,
nothing to do with the brains. It's the CPU, and then you can't upgrade your CPU.
So it's my same old CPU and I'll probably give up the ghost sooner or later.
The biggest thing that
It's
you'll,
just,
so my experience in repairing Apple computers over the years has been, one, Mac users hold on to their computers way longer than PC users do. It was not uncommon that someone would bring in a 10-year-old Mac and they're happy just to add some more memory in it or upgrade the storage, like in your case, and they were
Memory and
getting,
storage. I did everything.
right.
And a disk, like the drive.
The DVD drive, yeah. So, that's actually a really common thing that I would see is, well, let's just upgrade the storage because everything else is working for me. Where a lot of Mac users tend to start running into issues is eventually when it gets old enough that none of the newer software has been being written for the operating systems coming out. So, for example, I think Firefox, the guys that make Firefox recently said that if you're still running, I think Mojave, that their next version of Firefox would not be compatible with Mojave. So you start running into those issues where the applications are written for the newer versions, and if you're not a heavy user, you may not run into that issue very quickly. If you're someone who likes to keep up to date with certain applications, that's where you may start to hit a brick wall. So at the end of the day, when it comes to using your Mac, it just comes down to what do you do on a daily basis that would require you to have that need to maybe upgrade to the next version on there. But one of the nice things about the Apple Silicon chips are that they do also have a built-in capability called Rosetta. So if you have any Intel Mac or Intel applications that you've been using on your Mac currently, they will still run and work even on an Apple Silicon chip. So I honestly can't recall any application that I've run into that just said, no, I'm not going to run, too bad, so sad. Everything's been a pretty smooth transition. It's actually a very similar transition, if you all recall, when we went from PowerPC chips back in the day over originally to the Intel chips. So we kind of we're doing that same sort of transition as well. Well, we completed that transition. All the new Apples are now Apple Silicon. So that transition is done.
But one question is how long will they have Rosetta in it? Will the next OS have it?
Right. So I know Apple has also mentioned that they will support, I think, the most current 3 versions of macOS, if I recall that they mentioned. So if your Mac is not running the most current 3 versions of macOS, so right now that is Ventura, Monterey, Big Sur, if I remember correctly. I used to be really good at naming all the cats in order. I've been having trouble keeping up with this California locales. And then, of course, here this fall, we'll see macOS version Sonoma. released. So if your Mac is not really supporting the last 3 versions, that's when you have to start seeing, well, what's updating and keeping up to date that I use on a daily basis and I need to work.
And you may find out that even some of the operating system has features and you'll go, oh, I love that. And then you get ready to use it, it'll say that particular feature is only on silicone, not on Intel. So you may wind up. One of the things I use Final Cut Pro. Final Cut Pro will not work on the older version of the iPad. Well, the new silicone, it will work on the M1, M2. So, you run into those type of problems too.
Elliot,
Thank you.
We're being our meeting now today, Taylor.
Thank you.
Ellie, did you get your question answered?
I've got part of it answered, but I look forward to next month with the Mac SIG group.
Okay, so this,
See you then, there, Elliot.
I just thought of something. How are we gonna handle Ring Central with 2 SIGs?
You can only do one at
Only
a
do
time.
One at a time.
You could do the other one, could be a Zoom, but you're limited to 40 minutes, but we only need 30 minutes per
They can
SIG.
come to the
So
meeting if they want to sit.
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
In person only.
or we could just say the Mac Help Desk gets Ring Central.
You know what though? I'm ashamed of you guys. We are Apple users. Why not use FaceTime? It's free.
How many people can be in FaceTime again? I think
A
they've
whole
expanded
bunch.
it.
Well, no, I'm talking about if you can use it free for a SIG, FaceTime. Nobody ever mentions FaceTime. Everybody uses Zoom and everything else. We're Apple people. Let's use FaceTime.
Several screens, right?
the other problem I've had is FaceTime becomes a networking problem in that it uses a whole lot more bandwidth than these other things do. But we certainly should test it out.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
for the AI one. Why don't we test it out and we have the Ring Central to fall back to?
Well, no. I think
Thank you, Joe.
I'm talking about for me, for SIGs that we can use it. No, Ring Central's been perfect. No, I just don't. Yeah, I'll do it for my SIG. No, you just, if it works, don't fix it.
Don't break it.
That's right.
Okay, that sounds good.
I wanna tell Elliot that if I still lived in Dallas, he could come over to my house some morning and we'd work on his Mac.
Well, thank you. I appreciate the thought. Where do you live?
Sherman, Texas.
Drive to Sherman is not
But
bad.
that's the way we used to do it.
Yeah, back in the day we did.
In the good old days, right?
I know exactly what it is.
Statement is,
Yes, Larry.
we've been talking about old computers. This one is a 2012. Put an SSD drive in, and it boots up in about 30 seconds.
SSDs are amazing.
And it runs perfect, except there is a little glitch I've got that didn't fix. It's fantastic. It's hard to buy a new computer as good as this one runs. Because that SSD drive, it was just phenomenal how much better the computer operated.
I have a 2008 MacBook Pro with a terabyte SSD in it, and it flies. It flies. It stores everything.
Yeah.
It just needs a new keyboard.
Sure. iFixit.com is a wonderful place.
Yeah, it is. Did you put that in yourself? SSD?
Yeah.
I did that too. Anybody else?
I once had a door fly into my keyboard across the room and it broke.
What'd you do?
I fixed it. I had somebody, I'm thinking.
Okay, anybody else?
Yeah, yes, my history. My computer was 10 years old. Jonesy had upgraded it several times. So great.
It still works, right? Right?
Picture went through, probably remember that. I mean, no, the restaurants disappeared. so it didn't work. So I had to get the latest one, M1. It was a new one. It only had, what is it, the smallest amount of.
256 or 512.
The smallest amount of space that you could have in it. And so I had everything backed up, and I had the old, putting stuff on, and then it started crashing. And then it wouldn't, wouldn't last like 4 or 5 minutes, and then it would just crash. And then I wanted to upgrade it to Ventura, and they said, well, you don't have enough room to do Ventura.
Wow, that's what the crashes now.
Finally, I said, I give up. I took it to Apple. I said, this is my problem. They said, give it to us. Come back tomorrow. And they erased everything and then put it back. And it works good. It works good. But I don't understand Ventura because now it's got these little windows on the side. Yes, on the side. And my other one had windows across the top, and it took me a while to realize, oh, I got both of those if I wanted. But I don't know how to use them really well. And I could use a little education in how to use this Ventura thing.
Back up, Steve.
What a mess. I mean, I got this thing, it's 4 months, and I still can't figure stuff out.
Oh, we can start the Mac help desks up next month with just an introduction to Mac.
Okay.
We can start from the basics and go from there.
Yep, that sounds good. Anyway, that's fine.
All right, folks, we're gonna have to wrap it up. They're gonna want this room soon. So I appreciate it. Thanks for all the inputs. I think we've got some good things going.
Good to see everyone. I could read your faces if I couldn't hear your voice.
Okay. Good to hear from you too. All right, thank you. See you next month.